Hey everybody, it's Brandon, the Weekend Cruiser, where I go on weekend cruises all the time, and I am your full ship tour expert. And I am very excited to bring you the MSC Grandiosa, who is new to the Americas market. She has been over in Europe for a while, and they've lent her out for us for a season to test her out, and I'm super glad that they did. As you're gonna see, she's a beautiful ship. Some quick details about the MSC Grandiosa. She is a Meraviglia Plus ship, which I've not been on the Meraviglia. She's been sailing out of the New York market, so I'm super excited to be on a new class with MSC. She would have been launched or took her first guest in 2019, so she's going to be fairly new. She's going to come in around 181,000 gross tons, and you're also going to find at her absolute max capacity of about 6,300 guests on board. With that, let's jump on into the full ship walking tour of the MSC Grandiosa. All right, everybody, welcome to the MSC Grandiosa. We're gonna start here on deck 5, midship. There's not much here, but one of the things you're gonna have is gonna be your MSC Excursions. So if you wanna book a tour, maybe you wanna reserve a chair over in MSC's Ocean Key, the Marine Reserve, this is where you're gonna come and do that. Yes, they are charging for chairs now. Coming over here, you're gonna see your Infinity Guest Reception, where if you have any issues while on board the Grandiosa, you can come talk to these folks. They can also help you with the loyalty program and just about anything. They can always get you in the right direction, so it is a good first step if you have an issue, something you need to solve, or a question. Coming into the main atrium here, it is stunning in classic MSC fashion and style, plenty of silver. You see your Swarovski staircases over here. You're gonna have your grand piano also on Swarovski crystals. Coming over to this side, you're gonna have your infinity bar. Now, I'm not seeing very many people sitting down on deck 5, but if they are, they're gonna be sitting over here at the bar having pre-drinks. So you do have a dining establishment on here. We're gonna show you in a second the purple crab. But you can also come here to grab an espresso. They've got a few pastries over there, but this is not gonna serve as one of your main go-to spots for breakfast in the morning. Unless you just want espresso, I think that it's absolutely fine. Coming around here. So that's it for deck 5. There's really not much here. So we're gonna now come to the aft section of deck 5, and I'm gonna show you the purple crab. This is one of the main dining rooms. They've got several here, but as you see, there are 3 different seatings here, and they are pretty quick, so they only give you about 2 hours, so do make sure you are showing up on time because they gotta get you out of here. Good morning.
Good morning.
So here is the purple crab, and there's a big echo right under that thing, kind of weird. I'll show it to you when I come out, see if I can replicate it. But this is one of the main dining rooms. This is probably one of my favorite, second favorite, I'll say, because it's a little bit on the smaller side, it looks like. It doesn't go that far back, but it's gonna give you beautiful windows if you get sat by one of those. And you're here when the days are a little bit longer and you can actually see outside of them. The maitre d' is always gonna be stationed here, so if you have any questions, they can certainly help you out. To talk a little bit about those windows, people love sitting by the window. Though I will say that once the sun sets, you only see your reflection. You can't see anything else. So this is the thing that I was saying gave me a really weird kind of echo. I don't know if you can hear it in the audio, but it's definitely like a sound kind of cone. Super weird. All right, now that I've played around with our audio, let's come upstairs to deck 6. Coming up to deck 6, of course, you have all your food in the aft section of the ship. And so I'm gonna come over here and show you some more food. So, looks like they got it roped off, so I'm not gonna go all the way back here. But these are my more favorite, I guess that's how you can say it, restaurants that you can eat at. There's 3 of them up here. So MSC does a decent job of trying to spread people out and not throw them in one main dining room. Instead, they're gonna have 3 different restaurants back here as well. You've got on the left, the La Perelle Grece, and then the Griga on the right. And you've got one further back as well. The first, the Le Parisi. Those, I think, just look a little bit more sophisticated, but they're all gonna serve the same menu. So it's really just a matter of taste. You're gonna get assigned one. You can always check with the maitre d' if you want to change that, but there's no guarantees that they'll be able to accommodate that for you. So deck 6 is gonna be your main deck. And so the first thing that you're gonna notice here is that is not an actual glass ceiling up there. That is a massive LED screen here on the MSC Grandiosa. And it's beautiful. It does all sorts of shows. It has music that'll go with it. It is great. And you'll see it. Like normally when the shows are letting out from the theater, they always have one of the shows going, and it is just super cool. We were here for Valentine's Day, and so they had a big Valentine's theme that was going there as well. I'm gonna come over here and then double back a wee little bit. You've got your photo gallery, but while I'm here, I'm just gonna call out one of these activation point machines. So they've gotten better with their app. It's easier now to add a credit card at check-in or when you get on the ship through the app. If you do not, you can come to one of these machines and activate your card. It's called an activation point. You can also load money. So if you want to be a cash person, pay cash on board, you can come in here and you see that this will take cash as well. So that way you can get cash on your card. You cannot buy anything if you don't have cash on your card. You've got the photo gallery over here. So if you want to do pictures, this is where you're going to come. But more importantly, they do the internet. So on board MSC, your photo people are also your internet experts. Just keep that in mind. I would also wait until the first evening to go versus during the day because the line can be a bit much. Coming here, you're going to have the branded store. So you see that they have stocked up now on the ship models. They didn't have a ton of those when I came yesterday, so I'm glad that they've got some more out. And I got mine. You know, I love collecting my ship models. I don't even know how many I'm up to at this point, but I got a good number of them. Coming over here, you're going to have the Edge Bar. And I want to call this one out because this is one of the primary ones you're going to come to for your breakfast in the morning. They're actually breaking it down right now, but they're going to have, this is going to be like your main coffee bar in the morning. It's also a really cool place to come for pre-dinner drinks if that's something that interests you as well. But they set up all the food over here up against the window. It's going to be pastries, croissants. They had a really good donut that I may or may not have also eaten when I came through here. You know, just checking it out. I have to verify everything for you guys. You're going to have plenty of shopping on the Grandiosa as well. This is one of the stores. So this is, I don't want to say cheaper jewelry, but it is the less expensive. There we go. Less expensive jewelry. All right, now we are looking at the full LED screen here, and it does run the entire Gallery Grandiosa is what this is called. So it's a promenade. It runs the entire thing. And there is a level above this that we're going to see in just 1 second. Coming over to this side, you've got the MSC Foundation. So if you want to see how they're preserving ocean life, how they're giving back, this is a really cool place to come and have some education. You're going to have over here the, let me see if I can get these words right, L'Atelier Bistro. This has been super quiet, you guys. Like if you want a good place to come, you see they have a piano back there. They had a jazz musician in there earlier, but I've not really seen a lot of people here. That's also why you're going to see all these signs for, you know, cheaper drinks, things you can do. So they do have a happy hour here, 6 to 10. So great place to come if you don't have the drink package. It's buy one, get one free. And they're also going to have the Angus Giant, 1 burger, 1 draft beer for $10. More importantly, if you look back here, you'll also see that there is an actual bistro in here. So as much as this is a bar, which actually, let me step inside. I'll show it to you. As much as it's a bar, these people are also going to be giving you reservations for shows. So if you need help with that, this is where you're going to come, especially if you want to get into one of the Carousel shows of Strings or Sweet. They're going to be the ones to book that for you. This bar is pretty cool too. I think that it just has a really nice vibe to it. What I saw some people doing, and I was like, kudos to you on thinking of this. They turned the chairs up against the windows towards the promenade so they could look outside and people watch with a window in between. Like, it's kind of perfect. All right, so on the other side, you're going to have La Galleria, which is your smell goods, your tobacco, your alcohol, though I'd say it's on the smaller side. They've got more on the smell good front versus the alcohol or tobacco. And then you're going to have your Piazza de Lusso, which honestly, I've not stepped foot back here. This is the more high-end shopping. And I have no business being back there because I'm not going to buy anything, so I haven't wasted anybody's time. But if you want to grab a nice watch, something like that while you're on board, this is the place to do it. On the other side, you have one of my favorite places, and I'll make a video on this, on how I'm kind of indulging myself while I'm on board the MSC Grandiosa. Crepes and Gelato is one of the places that you can come and spend a little bit extra money. You all know I don't like to do that, but I am doing it on this ship. They're going to have some crepes, they're going to have gelato, and they can make all sorts of good stuff for you. So I'll come and just quickly show you what is possible here. But I've been ordering this stuff, but I don't order it here. So stay with me and I'll show you where I'm actually going to order my goodies. Over here on the left though, before we do that, you've got Hola Tacos. And so with Hola Tacos here, you have, you know, a menu where you can get tacos. They've actually got they call it a deal. I mean, their package here is you can eat all you want for $24, but you see a taco is, you know, $3, so you're gonna have to eat a lot. $25 would get you 2 burritos and then something. So I don't know how much of a bargain this is, but what is a bargain for it is they do serve breakfast in here complimentary. They've got a Mexican breakfast that is fantastic. I went there this morning. Nobody knows it exists. It's quite dead in there. So if you want to miss the crowd upstairs at the buffet or in the main dining room, this is where you're going to come to. You've got Jean-Philippe here. This is going to be your chocolatier on board the ship. Unlike other ships like the MSC Seaside that I've been on a lot, they have a Vinci. This is a Jean-Philippe. Some people have different preferences on who has the better chocolate. I've been sitting in the booth back there at night, but this is a great place where you can come and order from the to-go menu that you saw over at the Gelato and Crepe place. You can get your crepes, your gelato here, and have a nice sit-down experience. It's actually quite lovely in the back. Again, not many people are there. They're all going to the walk-up drive-through, if you will, and not having a proper experience. So slow down a little bit. You don't have to eat your gelato that fast, and you can go and hang out over there and maybe see me while you're there. Coming in here, this is going to be your main bar on deck 6 here. This is the Grandiosa Bar and Lounge. They do a lot of different things here. This is more of your interactive place, and so they're going to do like dance classes every night. They've done bachata, they've done salsa classes. It's also going to have your Latin band in the evening and all sorts of different entertainers, but you'll see people that stop all throughout to be able to come here and hang out. If you're looking for more reasonable clothing, you're going to head on the other side, the Grandiosa Boutique. This is where you're going to have more of your Hugo Bosses, Cole Haans, those kind of items. They're still nice, but they're not over the top. All right, so here's their theater. What you need to know about this is your only entrance and exit. So if you want an amazing seat and you have a preference on what seats you get, you need to come early. You're going to line up on the right-hand side unless you have priority with Blue Diamond, or you're in the Yacht Club, and then you're going to line up on the left. When the show before you lets out, because there are 3 shows in here, you're going to want to be lined up so that you can get in. Shows do appear online. You do need a reservation for it. Otherwise, they have a standby line, which you will probably get into as well. But make sure that you have that reservation. They've been posting these about 1 day before. So when I'm at one of the shows, I will get a reservation for the second one. That's just kind of my cue. But this fills up. I mean, you see that it looks like there's a ton of chairs here. Every single one of these will absolutely fill up, and it will be difficult if you come later, especially with a larger group, to find seating. Do make sure you try to sit in the middle section here, and I say that because it's really wide. So if you're seeing a production show especially, they're going to focus in on the absolute middle, so the best seats, as with most theaters, will be in the middle of the theater. The sides, you're still going to get a good show. With comedy, jugglers, I don't think it matters as much, but for the production shows, you want to make sure you try to sit in the middle. They do have some seats back here as well, so don't forget about those. I think that this over here is where the Yacht Club is going to be reserved for in the back. I don't necessarily love sitting in the back section here, but you can do it. The reason for that is you can find people coming late, and they are going to stand directly behind you, and as they did last night, they're going to have a conversation. And they're going to argue about where they need to go, and their people in those rows are going to be turning around telling them to be quiet. You don't want to have to get into that situation, so just try not to sit there. So show up early, make sure you have a reservation, and you're checking the app once you get on board about a day in advance. And they do have 3 different showings there, which align with the dining times that you saw earlier. Coming back over here. So we are now in the forward section of the ship. We're going to have the MSC ARIA Spa. I'll quickly walk you in here, but we're not going to do too much in here. I haven't used the thermal suite yet, so I can't say what that is like, but if you have a ARIA package, you get unlimited thermal spas. You've got your barbershop. Wonderful people who are always willing to help you figure out what type of appointment you want. Hi there. You have all your treatment rooms over on the right. Coming back out, I'm going to briefly show you the outdoor space, the running track, if you will, here on MSC Grandiosa. It's not much to write home about. Some ships really prioritize this space, some do not. This is one where they just don't. Though do pay attention to these kind of doors of this style. You want to open this leaf first. So we're going to open this leaf first. And I'm just going to briefly show you what it looks like out here. You see that it is Lifeboat City. So most of the time you're only going to find crew out here. And every now and again you'll see somebody getting steps in. much more pretty if you want to walk around somewhere. Go up to deck 15, deck 16, which we're going to get to in just a second as soon as we finish deck 7 here. All right, coming back into the Galleria Grandiosa. You're going to have on the left the TV bar, but I want to give you just, again, the LED screen here, you all, kind of blows my mind on how nice it is. It is really, really well done, and it feels like you're outside. So I think that this is just a wonderful selling point. TV studio and bar. I've actually been hanging out a lot here. This is where they do a lot of group activities, such as your meetups. But it is a cool spot, but more importantly, they have karaoke in here, and it is a great setup for karaoke. You can get a seat, there's places you can hang out at, and you're gonna have full bar service back here to the left as well. So karaoke has been really, really good. Shout out to Emmanuel, one of the cruise staff that has been running that. Does a wonderful job, and the singers, as always, are hit or miss, and that makes it wonderful. Coming back outside, I'm going to show you, because these doors, I didn't realize that they existed for a while. In front of us, you're going to see that you've got the back entrance to El Campo. This is my dining room, and I can't even say the name to it. Oh, it's got it right here for me. Perfect. El Campo. So this is the back entrance. Do not use this one unless you just need to leave, but otherwise I'll show you the front entrance here in just one moment. This little balcony here, the overhang, is where you're going to see the events done. So if there's an event that is happening, people are going to stand on this little ledge, and they're gonna, lead you in whatever that event may be. Masters of the Seas is one of the main bars that's here. So if you like your beer, whiskeys, this is gonna be the spot you want to come. Interestingly enough, I've not seen this place be that terribly busy. It's actually been on the quiet side most of this cruise, but as you see, there is a large selection of draft beer here, and they're going to have more of your international flavors. So if you're coming to the MSC Grandiosa from Europe and you're looking for non-American beer, totally get it. This is where you're going to come. You're also going to have a live musician that will stand back here in this little booth, if you will, and that's where they're going to sing from. And it will be broadcast throughout, and you've got a dance floor. Last night, I think they had a private event going on in here because it was well attended, it was packed, and people were dancing, which doesn't happen often in bars like this. And more importantly, they've got outdoor seating as well. So if you want to get out of that and you maybe just want to see people walking in the hallway here, you want to people watch, this is a great spot to come to do that. They've got plenty of seating out here where you can grab your beer inside and then come out here and have a little bit more quietness. Hey, good morning. Coming back down, you're going to have some of your specialty restaurants. So specialty restaurants here I think are just super odd to me because they have them in the hallway, like legit properly in the hallway. I know other ships like to do this, but I'm personally just not a fan of it. You've got your Sushi Bar here. This is actually where I'm coming tonight because it is the easiest to get a reservation. So with the Blue Diamond benefit, the highest tier of their loyalty program, and even Diamond, you do get one free specialty restaurant. They book up, especially the popular ones. So sushi, not one of the popular ones. The Butcher's Block that I'm going to show you, or Butcher's Cut in just a second, that one definitely is the popular one. Coming over here, you're going to have your Teppanyaki experience, and you're going to have a few tables back here as well where you can eat at. And you've got high chairs. This is definitely more of a family-friendly anytime you see Teppanyaki. So if you've got kids, great spot to go to because they normally love the show. All right, here's Butcher's Cut. This is going to be the proper steakhouse that is on board the ship, and it fills up. Like, they could have got me in 2 days ago when I said, hey, I wanted to come over here, but it was like a 9 o'clock seating, and I just didn't necessarily care for that. You see the inside of it is actually quite small. It's not the largest by any stretch, but this, to me, if you can get in here, is a much better experience than sitting out here in the hallway. I know they did it because it just ups your tables, makes the hallway feel a little bit cramped, but it also just has people walking by and maybe even brushing up against you while you're trying to have dinner, and I just don't think that's a great experience. Coming back to the Midship now, you're gonna have your future cruise desk back here. If you want to get onboard credit for your next cruise, make sure you come in here. I think that you should always have a cruise booked before you get off of a ship, but hey, that's just personally me. And then you're gonna have your outlet at sea where they're gonna have more jewelry for you to buy. And you see this is also gonna be where your FE store is going to be at. Coming back over here, I'll give you, this is where they're gonna do a lot of photos. So for formal night, this is gonna be the place people come to. They love getting the LED screen from up here. Some of the Swarovski staircases will be featured as well. Actually, that's one floor down. I'm wrong. that is on deck 6, not on deck 7 where we are now. But coming over here, you're gonna have the champagne bar. This is probably one of the more popular bars. And you know, I think it's just because it's, you know, more of a proper bar, it's kind of set apart. But you've got some good seating over there, you've got some lighting, and you've got what really makes it are the champagne style bars. You've got one on this side, and so they always put ice in here. So if you wanted, you know, to make sure your drinks stay cold, you can always put them there. They'll have bottles of champagne in there. They've got one on the other side, which feels a little disconnected, but you can certainly sit over there if you want to. And then my favorite part is my choice dining, so you can come between 6 and 9:30 on this ship to the dining room here. This is where we were on the other side, so this is Il Campo. The back entrance is way down there, but this is if you are in the Aria suite, and you can kind of come at whatever time you want to. I would advise you to, on the first night, if you want to kind of get a really good table, try to line up about 10 minutes early. There will be people there who are doing that. Me now, I think I went the first night early, and now I'm going more like 8:30 to 9 to beat the crowd, or to come after the crowd. Because the crowd there, I find, is a group that likes to eat, or they value eating earlier, which I also value eating earlier. I just don't want to wait in the crowd. And it's just me. I'm a solo on this one. I don't like sitting in a very packed restaurant if I don't have to. And in this case, I don't have to if I just go a little bit later. All right, you got the Il Grande Casino. Like MSC ships, it's a smaller casino, I think, but I'm going to show it to you. Though I don't spend much time in here these days. Actually, I try to spend as little time as possible. But this is one of those locations where you kind of got to come through here because there's a venue in the back. So I don't get a choice sometimes but to come into the casino, even though I honestly just don't like to do that. But coming back here, you're gonna have Carousel. And that's what I really wanted to show you. So Carousel is gonna be one of their special production shows. They've got 2 of them on board the ship. You've got strings and you've got suite. On board, they're gonna cost about $18 each to attend per person. So if you want to come and see, it's kind of like a little bit Circus Olay. You've got people that are doing fabrics, you've got hula hoops, you've got acrobatics, you've got a contortionist. You've got all sorts of cool stuff that happens in here. It does come with a signature drink, they call it, but that's going to be a mojito. It's going to be like some pre-mixed sugary drinks. So don't think that you come in here and order like a Grey Goose kind of situation. So it is a beautiful spot. The stage here, it's different. So they took this space, which feels very familiar to me to other cruise ships, and kind of made it backwards, or did a whole different thing to it, which is what I appreciate about MSC, is they take concepts that I'm used to and kind of flip it upside down a little bit. So you see that this is actually where I sat last night, was in this far chair over here, because the front center of the stage is actually right there in the center. And you've got these screens in the back that help make it more of an immersive style experience. So if you do come, there's plenty of seats when I came, but you want to try not to get the seats way back here in the back just because your visibility is going to be less. It is tiered, luckily, so you should have good sight line, but you're just further away from the actual action. It is, as you see, there's a gentleman taking a call in here. It is also a great place to sneak away, get some amazing sunlight, stay in an air-conditioned environment, enjoy the beautiful views during the day, because it's not really used much. I've not seen an event here other than one of the Carousel production shows. If you're going to see, actually here's a little preview of the Carousel show. So if you're going to see one of these two and you only want to spend the money once, come to see Strings. That is the better of the 2 that is out there. Not the sweetest bad, but they're definitely saying that, you know, Strings is the fan favorite. All right, so that concludes the inside sections of the MSC Grandiosa. So I'm going to pause the camera. We're going to bop upstairs. We'll pick up the tour on some of the outer decks up there. All right, welcome to deck 15 forward on the MSC Grandiosa. And with the MSC Grandiosa, like many MSC ships, they've got the MSC Yacht Club, which takes over the forward section of ships. So I don't have access since I'm not staying in Yacht Club. MSC Corporate, if you ever see this, I'm begging you, I'd love to just get a tour in there. I don't need a cabin, just a nice little tour, be able to see it and experience it would be really cool. But I've only heard wonderful things about the Yacht Club experience, and for the price, you can't beat it. So if you are looking for a higher end experience on board the Grandiosa or any of the MSC fleet, the Yacht Club is going to be a great spot for you to head to. Coming out here to the Safari Lounge, you're going to find it's like a safari. So they do a really good job of their solariums in kind of sticking to a theme. So you're going to have, it reminds me of the Divina a little bit with MSC, with you know, some of the tiger rooms and things of that nature. But you see, it does make you feel like you're in a cabin on a safari. And so there's not a ton of decorations, but I'll come over here just to show you the pool in the middle. I do like that the pool has a little bit of segmentation, so you don't actually feel like, you know, you're on top of the people that are sitting around, because you just can't. And they're gonna have hot tubs on each side of this as well. MSC, as you're gonna see, has hot tubs all over the place. So if you want a hot tub, they do fill up, but if you keep your eyes open, you will see random hot tubs all throughout the ship. And of course, you're gonna have the safari bar over here. There's more chairs on the other side, so I'll just quickly swing over here. Again, espresso machines everywhere, even by the pool. But if you want a place to come and play canasta, maybe you wanna play Uno, this is a great section to do that in here, or just, you know, read a book. These are comfy chairs. I'd say the loungers over by the windows would probably be one of my favorites. And MSC does this thing too, where they reserve seats, as you see here, for people with accessibility issues, to make it just easier to get to and give them a dedicated spot to have a chair, which I think is a very cool idea. You're gonna have your pool over here. So you've got the seats that you see this woman laying on. Those are all first come, first serve. We're in Puerto Plata today, so there's not many people that are gonna be here. And your main screen, where they're gonna show all their outdoor TV shows. They had F1 on last night. Wicked Part 1, which I went to come see because I had not seen it before. And all of your shows, events are gonna be from this stage here in the middle. So we had Tropical Night, and we've got White Night coming up. White Night is always the bigger of the two, though I was surprised that Tropical Night was as well attended as it was. Do have some showers there in the middle, so if you do want to rinse off before you're getting in the water or maybe coming out, you have the ability to do that. But it is a pretty cool pool. Plenty of chairs, and they are adjustable chairs as well. So they look like they're a bit of a newer model, but they will give you the ability to change the incline on your seat. MSC has not always done that in the past, so that's why I like to call that out, because I think it is a huge enhancement. Now, one thing that you're gonna see on MSC Grandiosa, like a lot of MSC ships, random elevators. So I don't know if you can see this one necessarily, but I'm gonna pop you into it. There's one single elevator here, and there's one on the other side as well. So they do go closer to the stateroom, so if you do have somebody that doesn't really walk very good, that's a great option for them. And so for those of us like me, personal preference here or personal thought, if you do have good accessibility and you can walk around fine, go to the main elevators. Leave the one-offs here for people that can't really walk as far, otherwise they're gonna be overrun with people. Best practice for breakfast in the morning is come to the outside bar here. They're gonna have just about everything you need. They have the basics, but you don't have to go all the way inside. You don't have to wait in the line. They have cleaned it up now, but this is just a really cool, don't have to be in the crowd if you don't want to. So I would highly encourage you to check that out. And this is some of their outdoor seating. There's nothing wrong with grabbing your food from the buffet and bringing it outside. If any of these doors don't open, just make sure you're pressing that button there. I had to do that for the elevator that we just saw, so that's why I wanted to call that out. Coming into the main dining room. So on this side, you're gonna have your family and kids buffet. We've actually got a pretty cool thing. If you want soft-serve ice cream, you're gonna come and see this person here. They're gonna give you soft-serve ice cream. My personal favorite, though, are these little white chocolate pretzels that they've got. I always think they are amazing good. And you've also got plenty of seating in here. They've done, I think, a decent job with adding a lot of seating in here. It still will get crowded during peak times, so try to avoid those if you can, or use some of the other options that we've talked about on here to get some of your food. So it looks like this is an early lunch crowd, so it's about 11:36. So you're kind of seeing what the crowd looks like now. We'll give you a tour of a little bit of the food, and I'll call out some of the stuff that I like on board the ship. So you're gonna have your salad bar over here. I just love their little sign, but the buffet is currently resting. It's like a good steak. It has to rest a little bit. You're gonna have your marketplace buffet on the other side. Marketplace is what they do call their buffet here. And you're gonna have pizza over here. I do love the ham and cheese. I'm a Hawaiian guy through and through. I know a lot of people, if you're watching this from Europe, probably are yelling at the screen right now. But hey, that's what I like. So they still have a little bit of breakfast up here since it is 11:30. So that's what you're seeing, some waffles, some pancakes, all the sweet treats. Then we go into some cookies. You've got your empanadas. I've had an empanada just about every day on here, and they've actually been pretty good. So your bacon, your eggs, it's classic. My favorite one, and I'm not seeing it right now, is gonna be an arepa. So they've got arepas on here, and they are fantastic. I mean, if you've not had one, give it a shot. They're super good. And you're actually gonna have a few eggs and omelet stations on this ship. So when you're looking at, the lines and you're thinking of, oh gosh, it looks like a long line, just know that they have other ones. Here's your egg station, if you will. And we've got cheeses and charcuteries for people who want something a little bit lighter. So you've got cream cheese for your bagels as well. Coming towards the aft section of the ship now. This is the biggest tip I always give, and nobody seems to take me up on it. At least the lines on board the ships never reflect it. Always start in the back of the buffet and work your way the opposite direction. Because this is where all the good food is at, this is where less of the lines are going to be at, and it's often the same food repeating, just people don't push through to the back. And so I think that is a big mistake people make, and they waste a lot of time standing in lines, and it can be a little frustrating. Here's one of they call it ramen bar, but they'll do eggs and whatever the specialty of the day is, and it is a make it while you're waiting. So here you see that there's an omelet waiting area. So if they are making multiple people's omelets, they do give you a nice little spot to sit and hang out. The other side here is an exact replica of what you just saw. So we're gonna cut upstairs now. So we're gonna come outside. This is one area that, I wish they would have probably put a little bit more into it because it's just smaller. It's tough to actually get a seat out here. But you see that you do have a nice little outdoor section if you can find a seat here. Some people are coming, finishing breakfast, but beautiful views of Puerto Plata today. And I'm gonna come over here, showing you Puerto Plata, and show you this staircase. So, you all know I love a staircase in the back of a buffet because it's a nice little secret entrance into the rear section so you can beat all the crowd and you can go right to the food where I'm telling you to go to. But hey, you don't have to listen to me. All right, so we are now in the Horizons Bar and Pool area, the Atmosphere Pool. And so I think this is also one of my favorite things. I love having a pool in the back of a ship. They've got some nice chairs up here at the front. These are the only cushion chairs that I can find on board this ship. They are first come, first serve, and we're on a port day, so that's why they're probably not in use. But this is also an adults-only section of the ship. Now I'm gonna come back and show you the upstairs there. That's where the Horizons Bar actually is. But we'll come back to all that. Actually, let me cut through the middle here versus going on the side. Show you what's actually on the inside. So the Atmosphere Pool here is also gonna be where the nightlife is at, or one of the places. I will say that, it's not been well attended the times that I've gone up there. And look, I'm not a late night person, but we had a time change, so it's allowed me to stay up a wee little bit later. And so with that, I've tried to find, hey, where's the party at? Where are people at? They're kind of hard to find on 7-night cruises. I come on here from my traditional weekends and go, where's everybody at? They're kind of hidden. But there is a select few folks that are hardcore, and they will always be out. You've got some games here that they've got. You've got a meeting point for MSC information, so if you need to schedule something or ask questions, great spot to go to. This is going to be more of your kids' area, so it is the sports complex. You see they've got a few games on the other side over there. But you've also got I'll call them multi-purpose kind of cineplexes that are here these days. So you see this can be anything. It's often soccer, basketball. Last night it was the quiet party, and so they gave out headphones for everybody who wanted to enjoy a silent disco. You've got your F1 racing in here, and then you've got your bowling lane down here. I think that it's just super cool that they've got bowling on board the cruise ship. So I just show you that they are actually able to fit on a 2-lane bowling alley. So super cool. If you have a group of people on here, I think getting a reservation for this, it is an upcharge, but I just think that it's super cool. And you're gonna have the VR maze over here on the right-hand side. So that's where you're gonna stand in that little box and have a good time with your VR headsets and hopefully don't get motion sickness. Coming towards the midsection of the ship, so we are on deck 15 now. You'll see they've got some more arcade kind of things over here again. This is more of the kid-friendly area. And you'll see more of the places where they have the daycare facilities and things like that upstairs. But you've got your virtual gamers corner. So if you do want to play arcade games, they've got plenty of those. One of my favorite places, they've got the MSC Gym. So we'll see how busy it is and how much I actually get on camera here. It is a small gym, so you don't need much. The kinesis machines, make sure you're researching how to use those because they are a little on the complex side. You've got a setup over here with your spin bikes over there. You've got the room where they're gonna do their classes. Plenty of cardio equipment, plenty of machines as well. I say plenty of machines. They're actually quite limited. I'm gonna do legs later today, so hopefully they'll have enough that I can do it. And you see the dumbbells over there. They do start around 4 kilograms and go up to about 32 kilograms. So that's gonna come out to approximately 70 pounds. So it is in kilograms, so if you're lifting, multiply by 2, and that's about what you're gonna get. All right, did I say we were on deck 15 earlier? We're on deck 16. Because I forgot I walked up the stairs at the back of the buffet. This door here always gets me because, as you notice, it opens on the left-hand side, which seems weird, but I'm sure that it's because of the wind and the direction that the ship is going. All right, so we are now on deck 16, midship, walking towards the forward section of the ship, and you'll get a really good pool's eye view, bird's eye view of the pool that's gonna come up. So the gym here, just know that people can see you. During the day, there's more of a reflection, so you can't see through. But if you're working out at night in that gym, people will absolutely be able to see right through you. It's kind of tough being somebody that's worked out in there to not get self-conscious, but you know, it's not in the best of locations, I personally think. As much as I like seeing people go by, I don't necessarily want them seeing me while I'm working out of all places, because look, that's not always a pretty sight. You've got a really large whirlpool over here, and you can have a matching one over on the right-hand side as well. I do like how they make their pool feel like one big expansive pool. They are 2 different ones, but you see, they do combine them quite nicely, I feel like. If you want to come up here and watch a movie, this LED screen or LCD screen is wonderful. It's a really, really good picture quality. They're gonna take all these chairs up the lounger. So you're gonna have to sit in one of the chairs that are under the overhang there, a normal proper chair, but you can move those. So the tip there is make sure you are moving that chair to be the side of the pool. Don't sit right in front of the pool because you're gonna be way too close to the screen. But take the chair, move it over to the side, and you'll have a really good view of whatever movie they may be playing. Coming back inside. So we're now going back into the safari pool area. And this is gonna be another game section. So this ship does have some decent amenities for kids, though it's not over the top with, you know, slides and that nature. I'll show you that here in a little bit, but it does get a good number of kids coming on board as well. Seeing the pool that we talked about earlier, you're gonna have your foosball over there. You've got your ping pong over on the right. So it's a decent kind of place. You've got these plastic chairs here actually aren't bad. If I want to just come out here and read a book, these plastic chairs do a really good job of, you know, supporting me and, you know, being a little bit on the comfortable side. Coming back up here, I'm going to quickly show you the next deck up as we come through. So again, we are on the forward section of the ship now, so you're going to see that it is the Yacht Club. So we cannot go into the Yacht Club because I don't have access. But that's not gonna stop me from going up one more flight of stairs just to show you a few more things here. And then we're gonna go back to the midsection of the ship, which is where you're gonna have even more items that you can actually use if you're not in the Yacht Club, or even if you're in the Yacht Club, you can come and experience that. So we're gonna come back outside now. We're deck 18, in the forward section of the ship. And I wanted to show this just because it's kind of a little bit of a hidden spot. You know, if you want to get away from everything, be a little bit quiet, you can do that. The forward section here, those stairs, you'll see that there is a gated door upstairs. So if you don't have access to the Yacht Club, your key card will not unlock it. But there's nothing to stop you from using the chairs up here. So if you want to get away, you don't want to be part of the crowd, this is a great spot to come and to be able to hang out. Interesting that they have a mirror up here. I'm sure it's so that the operator can make sure nothing's obstructing the solarium canopy overhang. What do you call this? Let me know in the comments. The thing that slides over the solarium area here. But it's super cool if you actually get to see them doing that, to see how much metal they can move. All right, so now we're gonna do one more version across the pool quickly so that I can show you a few more of the items upstairs. So it is a pretty ship. It's pretty, you know, consolidated, if you will. So it's easy to navigate. When I first got here, I'd been sailing on MSC Seaside and Seashore a good bit, and those are very different ships. I'm actually gonna make a whole video on how they're different, and honestly why I think I may like the Seaside a little bit better. But Grandiosa is growing on me. I mean, people seem to really be enjoying themselves. When I come on these cruises, I love asking people, what do they think? So that I'm not the only one who's giving out information on what there is to do. I think that there's a door over here on this side. We're gonna see. If not, I'm gonna quickly pivot and go to the other side, because I want to say that I've tried this before and it did not work out for me. But we'll see how it goes. Yes, this does not work. So the brown door down there is the ladies' bathroom, which I tried going into yesterday because I thought it was the exact same as the other side of the ship, and it just is not. One more view of the pool area. Super cool view and vantage point. It looks really, really nice. And then you've got Puerto Plata. All right, so now we're coming back into the same door that I would have come out of earlier, because this is the main spot for that. The other side, it's a bathroom. Normally cruise ships are symmetrical. Whatever you have on the left side, you're gonna also have on the right side. That just was not the case today, or on this ship, it's not the case. In this is the only use case I think that I found of it. Normally, if you've got men's and women's bathrooms, you've got one on the left and one on the right. All right, we're back inside, which is great, because I'm also getting a little hot walking around out there. So we're now gonna come up to deck 17. So now we're in the mid section of the ship. Actually, I take it back. They don't have a 17 here. They have a 16 to an 18. So unlike some cruise ships that don't like the number 3 or 13, this one here doesn't like 17. So you've got the Sky Lounge here. This is going to be your adults only section. It's also a great spot to come and be able to get away. So if you want, similar to the Carousel, you want to come up here and, during the day at least, find a place to get away, this is a cool spot to do that. In the evenings, they're going to have jazz, they're going to have music. You see that there is a grand piano way over there. So it's a super cool vibe, very loungy, but it's a nice adult atmosphere, which you don't find a lot on this ship. There are a good number of kids, and I think part of that is, it's just out of Port Canaveral. And so I think out of Port Canaveral, you're going to naturally have more kids than you may on other sailings like out of Miami, where I'm more accustomed to. But I could be wrong. That's just me and my summation. Coming back into the sports complex second tier, so where we were seeing the basketball court, the silent disco area, you've got your Doremi land is going to be up here. So this is where the kids are going to come and you can drop them off and they can enjoy themselves. So you've got different levels of this. You've got the Lego Lab. You've got good views downstairs. So again, if you want to watch what's going on but not be part of it, this is a great spot to come. And you've got your youth team up here as well. Coming back here, you're going to have your club. And I say that hesitantly because the attic club also winds up being a teenagers hangout on the ship. That's because it's so close to all the kids stuff, it makes it a little bit awkward, and teenagers honestly have kind of taken it over. But what I have found is this is where the late crowd kind of comes to. They move everybody away from the pool area and they bring them out here. And so this is a full bar setup, the attic club. This is going to be your late night entertainment. Starting about 11:30 midnight, you're going to come out here simply to the Horizons bar. And this is going to be the spot where all the action is going to be going. The metal contraption there in the middle is where you're going to have your DJ. So they do have a full DJ out here. You see that they've got plenty of light setup as well. So you've got all these different strobe lights that can go and turn it into a big old night party. And so it's not been well attended. I've never seen anybody dancing down on the bottom floor. We've all been hanging out up here by the bar and the DJ, which I think is logical. So it hasn't been terribly exciting, but it is something that, has been, you come to it because everything else kind of ends and you still want to keep going. This is where you're going to come to, but choose your nights wisely. I'd say on nights where there's a big party, you're going to have more people. If it's a port day, people are probably just tired and they're not going to make it. Coming up to deck 19 aft now. This is the true kids area, and I love how they've really sectioned this off compared to other areas of the ship. Because, you know, it really puts children in a specific place, and so if you want to get away from that, I think that this is wonderful. I have rarely walked up here. I've not had a reason to walk up here because I don't do the slides. I don't need the kids' water park. Like, I'm good. You've got an attendant here who will check you in, make sure your parents are signing your waivers. You've got your little ropes course up here that somebody is doing. I would actually try that out. That might be neat. These 5 chairs up here, I think, are premium chairs. They go really, really quick. They're a little sectioned off, but it's a super cool spot if you want to come and check it out. All right, I'm gonna quickly walk up here just to show you a better view of all the slides, the pool. So if you do have kids, this is just, it's a great spot to be able to come in and let them enjoy in a kid-friendly style environment. I'm gonna walk over here a little bit so I don't get my camera equipment wet. That's never a good thing. Apologies if I get some mist on the lens. And coming back here, you've got a hidden little ice cream spot. I honestly didn't even know this was here until now. Again, I haven't walked up here, but this is the Wild Forest Bar. Definitely more kid-friendly, but they're gonna have probably anything that you want. And this gives you a really good angle to see how big the actual slides are. So you can walk all the way up there, and you're gonna take them all the way down to here. So they're a few floors up. So I'm not gonna take you up there simply because we're gonna save some time on the video, but know that there is a little bit of a walk. So if you wanna wear your kids out, put them on the slides. So that is the full ship walking tour of the MSC Grandiosa. I am super excited that she has come over to the Americas market from Europe, and I actually got to sail on her. She is an absolutely gorgeous ship, from the LED screen to that beautiful pool up on deck 15. I think you're really gonna enjoy coming over to the MSC Grandiosa. All right, everybody, this is Brandon, the Weekend Cruiser. If you want to join me on a weekend cruise coming up, make sure you're signing up on the group cruise newsletter down below, and hope to see you on a weekend cruise soon.